this morning. On behalf of the district governor, Rotary and Omotunde Lawson, I welcome you all to today's edition of the Strategic Training for Action in Rotary, in line with the theme of the month, Community Economic Development. Before we go ahead with the program, I will call on the imaginative district governor, who is very passionate about this program, to formally welcome you to today's edition. Over to you, my DG. Abisina.
She has not joined yet. She has not joined.
In a minute.
She hasn't been.
My DG. In a minute. My DG. Video is possible.
Okay. Yeah. Community economic development.
Yeah,
Okay, they are two here.
the first one is overview. That's the first one. That's overview.
Okay.
Overview, yeah.
Okay, this one.
No.
Okay, the overview. Okay.
Overview, yeah. The last one.
Okay, then this is not ordinary one. Then the same community economic development without overview.
Without overview.
Yeah. VGN. Hello, sir. Good morning, sir. Oh, okay, okay, sir. So, no, you said DG is online that she wants to speak. DG.
My DJ, are you there? Yeah.
Yes.
My DJ, are you there?
Elizabeth, you're always so careless. Eh?
Thank you.
You will miss me, I won't be able to talk.
Okay, okay, my DJ, go ahead and welcome my people, please.
District trainer, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, madam.
Facilitators, all our participants, all our Rotarians that are connecting online. I welcome to the 3rd edition of this virtual strategic planning, strategic training for action in Rotary, which is going on at the moment. I want to thank the district trainer once again for facilitating it. I am also on a polio walk in Abeokuta. I'm inside an open roof vehicle as we speak. So that is why, if you're hearing any noise, that is why it is noisy. I want to thank our participants, again, all our Rotarians. This is another edition of an enlightening Rotary training for all of us. The affair is going to be a monthly affair, and it's the third edition. I have the privilege and honor to call this strategic training for action in Rotary to order. Let us take the Rotary grace together while I hand over to the district trainer. 1, 2, go. Oh Lord, our giver of all good, we pray thee for our daily food. May Rotary friends, Rotary with efforts to serve thee all our days. Thank you very much, sir. District trainer, you can now go ahead, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
My DG, the only one who can be doing 3 things at the same time. Well done. May God continue to give you the same. Now, fellow Rotarians, the rule of the game is as follows. There's going to be 1.5 minute video just to set the tone of the day. This will be followed by an overview of our program for today, which is community economic development. And in place of the first facilitator who is unavoidably absent for family reasons to give us the experience of Amuwo, I will give you general overview of the whole month. Then this will be followed by the experience of Bagada, who has a large volume of experience. Amuwo Club and Bagada are the 2 top clubs who have excelled in microfinance program. The purpose of all this is to let you know how you can use this example to execute a lot of programs in the future. In fact, this program today will benefit more of the president-elects in various clubs than most of the other clubs. After the Bagada experience, then will be followed by Rotary Basic in keeping with our objectives of the strategic training for action in Rotary program. This will be followed by our usual 30 minutes question and answer session. Yeah. So we start with this 1.5 minutes video program.
A single act of good can go a long way. It can cross oceans and foster opportunity. As members of Rotary, we are people of action, and our actions have the power to speak loud and clear. We choose to see the world for what it could be. Through our commitment to advancing economic and community development around the world, we've seen its boundless potential firsthand. Thanks to Rotarians like you, we've seen the number of people living in poverty worldwide drop by more than 50% in the last 20 years. Our efforts are fostering entrepreneurship and economic self-sufficiency to create lasting change. We're altering outlooks and feeding communities in need and giving families a viable path out of poverty. With vocational training, mentorship, and access to well-paying jobs. We believe that effective humanitarian organizations operate at the intersection of commerce and cause, allowing us to channel community and worldwide resources that open new doors. Today, we invite you to see what's possible. Every gift is an action that speaks volumes. When we take action, we change the world. Learn how you can support the cause that means the most to you.
Thank you. I hope you enjoyed that program. Like you can see, there's a lot of ladies in that view. So we now go straight on the overview of the whole program. That's the first line.
Next.
Eradication of poverty remains one of the greatest humanitarian challenges. Be that as it may, women, as you have seen in the last film, women are disproportionately affected. The reason being the unequal access to paid employment, education, and property acquisition, as may occur in many traditions. Rotary supports investment in people and the communities to alleviate poverty, creating measurable and sustainable economic improvement in the poor and underserved areas. As Rotarians, the best way we can achieve this is to design projects with the following objectives. Next week. One, empower marginalized community by providing access to economic opportunities and services. This you can see in some of the programs that we are going to show you as evidence being practiced by Amuwo Club or Bagada, as we show shortly. Then we address the gender and class disparities that prevent people from obtaining productive work and accessing markets and financial services. Again, there are some cultures whereby the people who access property, who can access loan, are usually male, and therefore it's the duty of the Rotarians to make provision for those who are disengaged or disenfranchised, especially the ladies. This is where most of our microfinance comes in, because by the time you go to the bank to take a loan, they start asking you for collaterals. These collaterals are usually not affordable by the less privileged. The third areas where your project can be designed is to build the capacity of the local leaders, organizations, and network to support economic development in the underserved communities. And finally, you can actually make it bigger by fund graduate scholarships for career-minded professionals related to community economic development. This, you will need the following guidance to execute their projects. When I make guidance, there are some areas whereby you could be helped in being able to learn how to facilitate and execute these programs. This guidance you can see from work with the Rotary Action Group for community economic development, clubs, and districts to assess communities and design context-based, measurable, and meaningful projects. Again, most of you should be able to join Rotary action groups. These are the things you can join easily when you go to international convention, and you can actually join online without going to convention. You try to tap the experience of those members of your club who are quite familiar with how to design projects, clubs and districts, where we can now assess communities and design context-based, measurable, and meaningful projects. Then you can find case studies and more information to help you start your project in economic and community development project strategic guide. Finally, you can actually review our economic and community development guideline for global grant funding. Again, in some of the examples we show you in Bagada experience, you find that how you can easily start from a very small point, whereby you just maybe you set aside about ₦1 million, whereby your beneficiaries are giving just about 50,000 each. And from that, you could grow into a situation whereby you can actually use district grant and even global grant to fund some of these projects, so that within a period of time, you can go from looking after 20 beneficiaries to 200 beneficiaries, and you can see the impact in the way it benefits their own life. These are the ways to go. Like I said earlier on, we need all this experience and knowledge to be able to benefit our community. The purpose of this program is to show you all the wherewithal, the opportunities where you could use some of these experiences, you share shamelessly and copy shamelessly from the program of other people. You can check your Rotary.org sites whereby some of these programs can be copied. Now, while we are waiting for the facilitator to show us the Bagada experience, which will take most of our time today, to save time, we will go back to Dr. Wale Badejo, First District Governor, to tell us a little bit about Rotary Basics. Again, the purpose of adding Rotary Basics for today's program is still part of our strategic training for action in Rotary. So that if we are learning the theme of the month, we still need to learn most of our basic guideline in Rotary. So over to you, PDG Wale Badejo.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Good morning, everybody, once again. I believe I interacted with most before the district channel came on, except those who came after he came on. So I say good morning, and I thank all of you. Even though we are much fewer than we were the first time we had this STAR program, I hope the number will not be going down, because if it does, then it becomes demotivating for those who are given the responsibility to organize these trainings. It's not easy to get up so early in the morning from Lekki, as like the DT, and get to the district office before 8 o'clock, as we all know. So it's a lot of sacrifice for many who are participating. And so we also, the attendees, should just try and let's spread the word amongst our members so that they can all come on for these trainings. If I go into the Rotary, let me quickly add my own. It is not to blow my own trumpet. In my Rotary South, in our second year of existence, we started the microcredit scheme with 50,000 naira. We gradually grew it through individual donations to about 270,000 naira. Then, as per the first global grant project in the whole district, and I boast about that very proudly. As part of the first global grant in our district, we had ₦1 million given for microcredits. So our fund came up so rapidly to 1.something million, and we are maintaining, though this year I think we have increased it to about 2 million naira. So we too have a very good micro credit scheme, which has been on since 2004, 2005. I just thought I should share that before I go to my discussion. Sorry, my DT has still time. So
thank you very much. You are another. Thank you very much. We appreciate that. It's just that go ahead. Yeah.
Yes, Elizabeth, my first slide, please.
Yes, yes, sir.
So as it did, like DT said, this is just a reminder for many old ones, but a training for many of the young ones on this program this morning. This is basically about some basic facts that all Rotarians should have at our fingertips. One, to discuss with non-Rotarians, and even to discuss with younger Rotarians and even older Rotarians, in order to inspire, motivate, and make each of us truly to be Rotarians and not just Rotarians in name only. Let me share a personal experience. As fairly young Rotarian, I came across one young Rotarian too, and the way she was spouting Rotary knowledge, and she could recite the MOP from page 1 to the end, I thought I needed to improve myself, and that really helped in also me trying to know more about Rotary. So if you also have these facts, it could be the inspiration for another Rotarian to try and grow by knowing more about Rotary and thereby growing himself or herself in Rotary. So that's also one of the reasons why we all should have these facts at our fingertips, so that not only can we speak to non-Rotarians, also speak to ourselves, inspire ourselves, and motivate ourselves to know why we are in Rotary and why we are who we are. Next slide, please, Elizabeth.
Okay, sir.
Now, as I said, the definition is just some basic Rotary facts that we all as Rotarians need to have at our fingertips in order to have meaningful discussions with non-Rotarians when it's, and also, like I said, with even Rotarians to inspire and motivate ourselves. And the possession of these facts truly entitles us to be Rotarians and not just Rotarians in name only. Next slide. Now, so the learning objective, as in everything we do, Rotary, there are objectives, there are reasons, just like the DT spoke about the community economic development, there are objectives, even in your projects, that you must try to achieve, otherwise it becomes meaningless. So today, the learning objectives are one, that at the end of the presentation, all participants must be able to speak about Rotary to others, able to defend the ideas and core values of Rotary, become better Rotarians ourselves, and also help to public image of Rotary. Next slide, Elizabeth. Now, as a Rotarian, you want to know, who am I? What is this group that I've joined? And I have that you have joined a global network of 1.4 million members. Let me quickly expatiate on that. Remember that 2 years ago or last year, Retractors became part of Rotary. And so when we speak about 1.4 million, it also includes Retractors. Really, Rotarians are just still about 1.2 million. You will not believe, when I checked the figures, as at the end of last year, we even went a bit below 1.2, but you still claim about 1.2 on the average. So you have joined a global network of 1.4 million members who share your passion for making a difference. Rotary exists in more than 200 countries and geographical areas. That's a huge space. And wherever you get there and you have that pin on, and the Rotarian sees you, you're a friend, you're a brother, you're somebody he or she can confide and trust. So that pin is a whole lot of responsibility and also gives a whole lot of joy to us too as Rotarians. We not only have opportunities to make lasting change in communities around the world, you also grow personally. If you truly practice Rotary, you grow personally, inwardly and outwardly, and make lifelong relationships along the way. Next slide. Our impact. When we pull our resources together, just as that slide showed, pull our resources together, our talents together, our passion together, we can do so much together than we can do alone. Of course, I'm sure that's obvious, but we need to keep reminding ourselves. That was one point I told somebody very close to me who needed to know why I wanted to join Rotary when I joined Rotary. That as a human being, I may wish to do so much, but when I join others of similar ideas, similar passion, they realize you can do so much more. And that's one of the reasons for being in Rotary. Through our clubs, people from all continents and cultures unite to exchange ideas for friendships and professional connections while making a difference in the communities around the world. Each member brings a unique set of experiences, talents, and expertise to tackle issues. Thus, we see challenges in unique ways. We use our leadership and expertise to address social issues and find unique solutions. So even though we say we give without counting costs and expecting nothing in return, these are the things that what is there for us. As you go into Rotary, you see unconsciously, you are just changing, you are being transformed, you are becoming a better human being. And that's why in our vision statement, which you see later, you see what it says about what we see in Rotary. We transform ourselves. Through Rotary, our members are exposed to new thoughts, new professions, and opportunities to broaden their perspectives. You become a better human being. From weekly club meetings and club projects to fundraisers and networking events, our members develop skills that make them better individuals, better community leaders, better humanitarians, and better internationalists. That you become an international human being. You have friends all over the globe. If you truly practice it and you go for those international events, even without going for international, you can get online and you still make friends with people from the other end of the world. Next slide. We solve problems. No challenge is too big for us. We have immunized 2.5 billion children against polio, and we continue to immunize them until we have eradicated this debilitating disease. We transform communities. Each day, Rotarians pour their passion, their integrity, and intelligence into humanitarian projects that have a lasting impact. Each year, we dedicate 16 million volunteer hours and over 1,500 projects, grants, to improving quality of life of others. Next slide. Our vision statement. How we see the world as Rotarians. Together, we see a world where people unite and take action to create a lasting change. Note, across the globe, in our communities, and in ourselves. Those things we do to help others also make us to become better. Without you knowing, you are becoming a better person. You get to a place and they're doing something and you're wondering, why are they doing this? Sometimes I have to pinch myself, you're a Nigerian after all. So you need to be careful. So that they don't look at you as a holier than thou. But that's what Rotary makes of us. Our organization, we all need to know how our organization is structured. Of course, we are with the Rotarians 1.2 million. We have the Rotary Club about 35,000 in figure because as some are formed, some are also dying. Districts are 530, zones 34 as constant, and then the Rotary International as your umbrella body. However, when you really see our structure in a pictorial form, it's an inverted pyramid. And the base, which is up, are the clubs. Let me tell you, my Rotarians, without your club, you are not a Rotarian. And that's why all of us must struggle hard to make our club better, our club to survive, our club to be effective. Not just functioning, but effective. To really carry out projects, to impact lives, to participate in the foundation, to increase membership, and let our members become district leaders by promoting them to higher responsibilities. That's why our club is the most important in Rotary. That's why it's the broadest part of the Rotary pyramid and it's the inverted one. Why the RI is just like the apex of the pyramid and is down there. Next slide. Our headquarters, for those who may not know, our headquarters is the One Rotary Center in Everson, USA. Our president serves only 1 year time, just like the club president, and he or she, now you can say he or she. Before this year, we had he, but now we have she, and we are having another she very soon. Presides over the RI Board of Directors. There are 6 other RI offices. We need to know this. And we had those in New Delhi, in Parramatta, in Sao Paulo, in Seoul, Tokyo, and in Zurich. The Zurich office is the one responsible for Africa and Europe, and that's the one responsible for us, therefore. Rotary International in Great Britain and Ireland is an administrative territorial unit of RI in Great Britain and Ireland. They stand alone as it were. not with any other offices. Our members. Now for new clubs, please, and even for old clubs. The reason why Rotary has been a leaking basket is because at the point of attracting members, we need to be careful. We need to really sieve. We don't need to be desperate to have members. Criteria for being a Rotarian are, he or she must be an adult who demonstrates good character, integrity, and leadership. Have a good reputation within the business he or she professes, the profession, or in the community. Be willing to serve in the community or around the world. Now, how many clubs do you find out about their prospective members? We really do not. Oh, he or she has attended 3 minutes consecutive. Yes, ready for induction. Please, let's do a bit of research about new members. Let's see what we can know a bit about them so that we don't bring those who are going to scatter our club or who just come and be a source of a nuisance in the club. If anyone fits the bill, please invite to your club. And if your club does not provide the right fit, and you must be honest, you must be honest. If your club cannot really provide the right atmosphere for that person, please refer to other clubs or direct to rotary.org/join. If that person goes there, he or she will be directed to another club through the membership lead program. If you have, and Paul Harris said this 9.3, if you have the love of your fellow men in your hearts, my friend, you are a potential Rotarian. That by Paul Harris in 1933. End of quote. Our core values. We all need to know this. What are the values that drives Rotary? What are the values beneath all we're doing? What are those that we all need to defend as Rotarians? One is service. We are there for service. That's the only reason we're in Rotary. But that's the greatest reason for most of us. Others come for other reasons, and they may not find those reasons, and they may just leave. Leadership. We are leaders as Rotarians, and we are meant to be leaders in our communities. And wherever we stand, they must see that leadership in us. Fellowship. That's what brings most Rotarians to Rotary, as Paul Harris said. What brought most Rotarians to Rotary is fellowship. But what binds us, and I also want to address this, is tolerance. We must tolerate each other. We are not all equal. We're not all the same. We all come from various backgrounds, different milieu, and must therefore have that at the back of our mind and tolerate each other. Diversity, that's the greatest strength we have. We have members in more than 200 countries, so it's such a diverse group of human beings, and you can get in contact with anyone and work together on projects, either in those places or in your own place. Integrity, that is key. That's how, in the definition of Rotarian, you are told that must be a person of repute in the community, in the profession, and wherever he or she works. Our guiding principles, those principles that bind us behind, that are there in no cost but constant, are avenues of service. Those 5 avenues of service is represented in all that we do in Rotary, in all the projects we do. And it's community, international, vocational, club, and youth service. They are 5 and they are constant. The 4-way test, those 4 paragraphs that we say every time we are at our meetings, that should be ingrained or inscribed in our hearts in everything we do. And if we truly do, then we truly can change the whole world, even though we are just 1.2 million. If we truly practice this 4-way test, we alone can change the whole world. The object of Rotary, those sentences that start from how we become friends, we turn friendship to service, how we defend our ethical standard businesses, how we all make sure that our vocation is represented in the good deeds we do in our clubs, and finally, how we want to advance goodwill, peace, and understanding all over the world. Those are the things we run after. Our courses. These 7 areas of focus joins with the object of Rotary, because at the end of the day, each of them ensure there's international understanding, peace, and good all over the world. And those are the peace building and conflict resolution, disease prevention and treatment, water sanitation and hygiene, community economic development, which is the month we're in, basic education and literacy, maternal and child health, and the environment. That came later. It's so important now. We can see everywhere is flooded. Even Nigeria, both in the north and the south, everywhere is flooded because of the global change, the climate change due to the carelessness of humanity in destroying the environment given to them by the Almighty. So it's important for all of us to participate in those. Planting a tree, we may think is something small, but remember, without those trees, we will all be dead. Without the oxygen they produce, we will all be dead. And yet there's so much deforestation in the north. There's so much deforestation even in the, especially in places like Brazil. Huge swaths of land are being, the trees are being removed and not replaced. And with that, we all get into trouble. Even though it happens in Brazil and Nigeria, it's a global problem. The Rotary Foundation, that's the philanthropic arm of the Rotary International, the heartbeat of Rotary International, the one that has made Rotary to be relevant, because without Rotary Foundation, I don't know where Rotary would have been by now. We must keep thanking R.C. Clump, who in 1917 proposed that little endowment for doing good in the world, which has become a huge dinosaur that has billions of dollars in its account in the permanent fund that will go into perpetuity, able to do good in the world. Any donation to the foundation is a donation towards a project somewhere in the world, not just in Nigeria. Even your area goes just to Nigeria, but goes to the whole world. So remember, it's the best way to do your gifting, because you can be sure that it will be very well spent. The charity navigator for the past 12 years consecutively has given us the first charity called the prudence and the governance behind the foundation. We manage the funds so well that only about $3 is spent out of $100 on just administration. The remaining $97 is spent on projects. And they keep trying every day not to even spend up to that. And that's a lot of change has gone into the administration of the foundation, but I won't go to that today. Our integrity and transparency shines through the management of our fund. Polio eradication is our #1 external priority, and our foundation has enabled Rotarians to donate more than 1.5 billion to this fund since 1979. Next slide. Our learning objectives, once again, ladies and gentlemen, I'll come to the end of my presentation. That at the end of this presentation, all participants must be able to speak about Rotary to others, able to defend the ideas and core values of Rotary, become better Rotarians ourselves. As like I told you, I came across somebody who also made me to know that knowing about Rotary was not that difficult. And so all of us should try, empower ourselves with the knowledge so that we can also help others to grow. And then we can also be able to talk very confidently to other non-Rotarians so that they can know what to do, and hopefully more will join us, because the more the merrier. The job is huge and the servants are very few. So we need more people to join us so that we can be able to be more effective. Most as the world continues, poverty is increasing all over the world. Even in America, the number of homeless people are becoming more. Parks are being taken over by the homeless people. They're messing up everywhere because they have no home to go. They've lost their homes to mortgages, and there's nobody's there to help them. So it's all over the world, poverty is increasing. And as that happens, the effort, the need for Rotary will become more and more. So I hope you all be able to, hopefully be better Rotarians after this. I want to say thank you to everybody. Thanks so much, and thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Wale, for that beautifully, clearly articulated tips of Rotary knowledge. This will serve to equip us with elevator speech and answer the commonly asked questions. I'm particularly impressed by your section on the quality membership, which I think most of the Rotarians should imbibe. Again, this is not going to be missed because we are going to put it on the platform of the club trainers and the imaginative presidents. Let this one really go a lot to improve the quality of knowledge you have. It's only when you have abundant knowledge and confidence that you can be passionate about the Rotary you so love. So please, I will implore you to reserve all your questions until after the Bagada experience. The past president of Rotary Club of Bagada, Rotarian Odutola, is now in the house. He will share the Bagada experience with us on community economic development. Over to you, Dula.
Thank you so very much, sir. I share the district team. My district governor, I recognize you, man. Past district governors also online and also the assistant fellow Rotarians. Thanks. I want to thank my chairman, district team, for giving me this opportunity to come speak to us this morning about the community economic development and also the RC Canada. In my club, we've been able to carry out 3 microcredit schemes. One in Ososa, another one in the Gogo, and also the third one with Rotary of Armenia. But let me quickly go into introduction of the economic and community development. The economic and community development is the 6th area of focus. One of the 7 areas of focus, which are vehicles through which most of successful and sustainable Rotary service are implemented. The economic and community development at the community level is a way in which Rotarians around the world are involved in projects that support investment in people to create measurable and enduring economic improvements in their lives and communities through 1, building capacity to support economic growth and reduce poverty, developing opportunities for work, 3, providing scholarships for studies in economic and community development. So, some common types of economic and community development projects are 1, poverty elimination, income generation, marketing, leadership skills, education, and training. In Rotary, for economic and development projects to be successful and sustainable, it has to go through some stages. 1, the planning stage. 2, acquiring resources. And that has to do with the needs assessment and the whole lot of things that we need to do, information that we need to gather and put together in making sure that it gets right. The project implementation, evaluation, and promotion. Rotarians also can leverage knowledge on Rotary Action Groups, which is the RAC, and Rotary Community Talks, which is the RCC. The Rotarian Action Group for Microcredit and Community Development guides members in planning and funding economic and community development activities. It co-hosts microcredit conferences and helps to advance the field of microcredit and community development worldwide. Rotary Community Corps, RCC, is a team of non-Rotarians who are flexible partners of service for Rotary clubs. Rotary Community Corps can offer key insights into the intricacies of the local community and economic market. Grants eligibility requirements. Because for us to go into to be able to do carry out global grants, we must make sure that we follow some eligibility requirements. Community and economic development projects can also be achieved with the Rotary Foundation Global Grants in fulfillment of all global grants eligibility requirements, which are 1, sustainability, measurable goals, aligned with an area of focus, respond to real community needs, actively involve Rotarians and host communities. And these 5 listed items are so very important because we must make sure that our projects are sustainable, they achieve measurable goals, align with an area of focus, either disease prevention and treatment, community economic development, as we have just discussed. Next slide. The grant scope. Economic and community development global grant scopes are outlined below. 1, scholarships, with the supporting graduate level studies in grassroots economic development and community development organizing. community development, training related to community leadership in comprehensive community led and coordinated community development activities, vocational training, entrepreneurship, financial literacy, and sellable skills. Small business, development of small business, cooperative and social enterprise, microcredit, access to financial services, including microcredit, savings and insurance must be in partnership with the microfinance institution. Agriculture, development of subsistence and small farmers, including facilitating access to markets, upgrading agriculture, irrigation practices. So it is so very important that we get all these things done. Then the RC Dagada story, the also microcredit scheme. Protocol of Dagada has been running a microcredit scheme in Ososa for over 13 years. With a starting sum of about $5,000, and this was made possible through the partnership we had with RC Rotary of Anambra North, District 6380, and this has become a life-changing and impactful project for the beneficiaries and community in Ososa. The partnership between RC and Anambra North, USA and RC Dagada has helped in alleviating the suffering of the beneficiaries of the community of Ososa, Ogun State, which has also helped in restoring hope and made life better. Our partnership had seen the funds grow from $5,000 to $8,333 within 10 years. And this shows the success of this scheme. As part of our plans in making the microcredit scheme bigger and more enduring, we upgraded it to a global grant project in the Rotary year 2019-2020, so as to enable us to reach up in our little way the wish and demands of this community in Ososa. We increased the funding available for the scheme, improve access to the funds, and also allow more people to benefit from the scheme. This in turn helped in impacting more lives in the community by supporting artisans, small businesses, and other small groups. Our success in upgrading this scheme to a global grant project through our partnership with RC Anambra North, which is 6380, gave us the opportunity to increase the microcredit scheme funds to $36,566 from a starting sum of $8,333. And this also automatically increased the number of beneficiaries from 50 to 200. The scheme runs continually on a revolving basis of twice every year. In accessing grants, and part of what also we need to know, we must make sure that our president and also our club Rotary Foundation chair, and also as well as also our president-elects, must make sure that they attend the district grant seminar and also collect, not only just attend, but also collect the grant application form, fill it, and also submit. Grant proposal also was written and shared with our partner RC Anambra North, District 6380. It is also very important that club must also learn to write good proposals. We also got the permission of the district to access the district designated funds, that is DDF, and also as obtained from District 6380. The global grant application form was filled, just like I said earlier. Then we also had to do an MOU, and there was an MOU between our club, RC Anambra North, and Star Microfinance Bank, which was drafted, signed by all parties, and attached to the grant application form for submission. The designated global grant bank account also has to be opened for the purpose of this grant. It is so very important because these are some of the things that the Rotary Foundation would demand from us when we are writing and also proposing to make our application forward to them. A progress report also was written to the Rotary Foundation after 1 year of this project has been achieved. Next slide. Okay. So let's also go into the funding pattern and now see how the foundation also can help us with the little that we pay into this foundation and how big we can get from the Rotary Foundation at the end of the day. This is our funding pattern, and at the time we wrote this grant application and we got this grant approved. As a district designated fund, the DDL from 9110 was $3,000. The district designated fund DDL from district 6380 was $6,000. Cash from Ausi Dagada was 10,400. The 10,400 from Ausi Dagada, what we did, the $8,333 that we had was used as a seed fund. So what we had to do was to add up to the $8,333 to make it 10,400. And when we are paying cash into Rotary Foundation, definitely you would have to pay a 5% interest on it. Admin fee. Let me put it on it. Those fees will be used to do the logistics for administrative funds for the grant. And that is why you have the $520 just in front of you, 10,400. Then cash from another notes was 2,000, and also because it was deposited cash, and so the 5% also is the $100 that we have over there. So in total, we have from DDL contribution, we have $9,000, then a total cash contribution of $12,400. So from World Fund, we were able to get $15,166, making a total funding of $36,566. So you can see how the beauty of the Rotary Foundation
Hello. Hello. Sorry for the short break in transmission. It's just a network problem. So we are back on air. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you so very much. I'm so sorry. Measure impacts. So, training, community outreach, or educational programs of the project. The project included good advocacy and awareness to sensitize members of the community on the opportunity of accessing this microcredit loan to better their lives. The Microfinance Bank, in conjunction with RC Dagada, organizes and will also continue to organize training on business management and basic business accounting process for the beneficiaries. This was done in conjunction with the project as a way of ensuring good business practice, which ensures prompt loan payment. This was also part of what we did while we were doing the distribution of checks to the beneficiaries. We had to make sure that we set out almost about a week to train these beneficiaries on was very simple bookkeeping and how to also make use of their profits. Second one is the global microcredit scheme. This is a global grant that covers two areas of focus, which are disease prevention and treatment and community economic development. This grant was done in partnership with RC Dagada South, Ikoyi Metro, Ikoyi, Cotonou Pioneer, District 9102, and Kensington and Chelsea, District 1130, with Grace and Mercy Household and Improvement Initiative as a microfinance bank. So again, you can also see the beauty of clubs coming together to do a global grant project. The microcredit scheme is meant to alleviate poverty and reduce unemployment rates, while the breast cancer screening and awareness is to create awareness and provide early detection and prevent eventual death from breast cancer, meaning health is wealth. The project was actually a two-in-one. We had the breast cancer screening and also awareness, and also the microcredit scheme. Though the irony of it, while we're writing this grant application form and we submitted to IRI, the question came from the Rotary Foundation to ask why breast cancer with the microcredit scheme, and we had to reply that health is wealth, because without having to get if you are not healthy, it will be so very difficult to be able to manage the funds that we have and also be able to use it effectively. The total grant sum for the project is $54,500. Project goals as it supports area of focus. 1. Promoting disease prevention and treatment programs that limit the spread of communicable diseases and reduce the incidence and effect of non-communicable diseases. 2. Educating and mobilizing communities to help prevent the spread of major diseases. 3. Developing opportunities for productive work and improving access to sustainable livelihoods. Then 4. Empowering marginalized communities by providing access to economic opportunity and services. So again, And we want to put us through the funding pattern of this project as well. The DDF from District 9102 was $5,000. Cash from Ikorodu was $1,000. Ikorodu Metropolitan $1,000. The DDF funds from 9110 we got $6,000. DDF from 1130 we got $5,000, which that is the Kensington and Chelsea. Then Cotonou Premier made a cash contribution of $3,000. Cash from Club Ikoyi, $1,000. Cash from Bagada South, $1,000. Cash from Rotary Club of Bagada, $3,000. Cash from Kensington and Chelsea, that is $5,000. And also, we can also see on the support section column of this funding pattern, the 5% being charged. The funding summary, the DDF, the total DDF contribution was $16,000. Cash contribution was $15,000, and World Fund we were able to get $23,500. We made a total of $4,500. So again, we can see the beauty of the small we put in the Rotary Foundation. So this scheme also runs continually on a employment basis twice every year. The microcredit scheme fund has also grown in the last 4 years from 10 million to 10,500,000 with the factory interest that accrues on it. The sum of 9,620 million was used for the breast cancer screening and awareness part of the project. The third global grant project, it's also a 2-in-1. It is the adult literacy and community economic development for women at Eve and Kube Community Cotonou. This is in partnership with our sister club, RC Cotonou Pamia, District 9102. It is an adult literacy and microcredit for women in the district of Eve. The project covers 2 areas of focus as well, and they are 1, basic education and literacy, 2, community development. Goals of projects at the support area of focus. 1, supporting programs that strengthen the community's ability to provide basic education and literacy to all. B, increasing adult literacy. C, working to reduce gender disparity in education. D, developing opportunities for productive work and improving access to sustainable livelihood. And then the last one, empowering marginalized communities by providing access to economic opportunities and services. Okay. So, funding summary also for that, BTF were able to get $10,000. Cash contribution was $12,000, and then the work was $16,002. The total funding was $38,006. 200 women benefited from this student. Let me also just quickly go back to say that the Igbo community project, which was a breast cancer screening and awareness and microcredit scheme, we had 2,000 beneficiaries for the breast cancer screening and awareness project, while we have 200 beneficiaries for the microcredit. And this takes us to the end of this session today. Let me also leave us with a quote from Oscar Oakley Heights, which says, "We will only secure a prosperous and peaceful and livable planet or livable planet if we harness economic growth and development to social solidarity across and between generations." Thank you, and God bless.
Thank you, PP Bagadas Odula. Thank you for the rich experience you shared with us in project planning. It shows us that the project can be from small to big. So no club can say they haven't got the muscle of Bagada and therefore they won't be able to do much. I think it shows you how big it could make it, how small it could be. It's practicable. It could be from club funds, with club participating. It could be from district grant, and also it could be from global grant. And microcredit is the commonest form of economic empowerment, and it's most easily executed. Again, you find that they're actually giving us a mini education in project writing with also Igogo and put on our experience. So again, like I said earlier on, we are going to leave this on your platform so that you can use it and use the opportunity to learn and try to fulfill the dream of the district governor who wants every club to be able to write project and do something. It's only when you start you can actually grow. So unfortunately we lost a lot of time in starting, but there is still the opportunity for those who want to ask some questions quickly. The floor is now open for questions. Well, is there any question on this?
There is no parents. They can raise, there's no one.
If you want to ask questions, you can signify by raising your hands either physically or by your platform.
Yeah.
Ebong, the floor is yours. Go ahead. Ebong first.
Yeah, thank you. Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
I want to ask Odutola concerning the Bagada experience. What happens if a beneficiary cannot repay the money from the credit scheme? And what have been the percentage of such? Do you have a situation in which a credit scheme was given to a beneficiary and the person is unable to pay? How do you handle that? That's number one. And then to our PDG, I want to ask, you talked about quality membership. Is it right for a club to subsidize dues of new members? Or can a member pay a dues for an inducted Rotarian, somebody that wants to be inducted into a club? Can a member choose, okay, I will pay? And after payment, should such a member be put into RI, bearing in mind that the club does not really know the capacity to pay the dues subsequently? Thank you.
Thank you so very much, my United President Ebon. And you've actually asked a very valid and good question. Just like what we said earlier, parts of the things that would have been done while these beneficiaries are being put together is one that also would help in mitigating against what you just asked. Is one, they might ask them to form a cooperative society. And that will have to mean that including leaders and also elders of the community that would help in making sure that people that are members of this microcredit society are people that are worthy and also able to pay back these loans. And again, a KYC, know your customer. This also will be done by the banks and also was done by the banks, which is the microfinance in helping to make sure that the funds don't go into the wrong hands. And again, we can't, just like we know, it is life. We can't see this, say this won't happen. And in case when it happens, and then the bank would have to find a way to recover such funds and make sure that our front is intact and it is not mismanaged. So at the end of the day, we've never had any instances or probably any reason of default from the banks to our club. So thank you so very much.
Thank you. Just to add to what he said, if that's why we get the professional involved, the banking sector, they know how to make sure they get their fund back, and that's why Nigerian version of it failed when they started Postbank, because they didn't go the Rotary way. Thank you. On the second question, I don't know whether that's what Wale Ogunbadejo want to answer, but before he answers that one, you find that I said I was quite impressed with the quality of membership you proposed. If you do your installation induction very well and properly good membership orientation, searching for the proper members, circumstances whereby we're forcing you to pay for members may not even arise. Again, it will happen if it's one-off case, but the situation whereby you started paying at the induction is not encouraged at all. Wale, you want to add to that?
Yes, sir. I want to add the two questions, sir. One, let me first start to the community, the microfinance. Five, which we are still involved with the microcredit scheme. And I'm happy that initially Odula was saying Bagada and Ibugu. And I was cringing here because I knew it was a global grant during my year as DG. And finally, he mentioned all the other clubs that were involved. So I'm okay. I won't fight to. I'm talking about how microcredit scheme cannot fail. The first thing is, please do not give to individuals. Sometime during our time, some members of the club said, I can vouch for this person, and we gave the loans and we lost. You must always work with cooperative societies or CDAs. Such people have moral situation. Nobody wants to be disgraced in the community or in the microcredit society. So they ensure that their members repay the loan. So your loans will not fail. Also, because as the PDG said, the trainer and PDG Omotosho, that was why Rotary recommended that we must involve a microfinance institution in any microcredit scheme. But they will be the ones managing the fund. It's your fund, but they'll be managing it and ensure that you get 100% retrieval of the funds. So those are very important things to remember.
Thank you very much.
Microcredit societies, I work with CDs. Now about the membership, it's not proper to start paying for a member right from inception. That's a really bad sign. However, once that member has been paid for, his name must go into RI because he has paid to the club, and good conscience demand that his name must be on your roll. However, all you then need to do is that you must be able to pay subsequently. And as PDG Omoto said, if you did your attraction properly and you truly know about this person, then there should be no fear about him paying subsequently, even though if his friend or relative decided to pay the first one based on certain peculiar situations. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Femi Olaleye, the floor is yours. Femi Olaleye.
Okay. Thank you so much, my PDG, Benga Omotosho, and all the presenters. My question is to the presenter from Dagada. Now, you said you got the micro bank involved, and I know that the micro banks are not there, for charity like Rotary. It will be interesting to know what interest rates, if any, are charged on this microcredit to those who are benefiting, and who pays this interest rate to the microfinance. If there is no interest rate, what charges or how do you pay the micro banks for the services they render on this for this service? Thank you very much.
Small credit space.
Well, thank you so very much.
Not professional interest, just not interest.
Yeah, well, for us on the also some microcredits, 2% is being paid as interest on these loans, and the 2% is being paid by the beneficiaries. This is just to be able to help with the running costs for the Star Microfinance Bank that is handling and managing the funds.
It's not as opposed to the
so not as opposed to the professional interest rate that you find in the market, because it's a microcredit loan. It's for poverty alleviation, so we don't intend to have it to be so very large. So that's why we have a package sum of 2% so that the microcredit finance will be able to use it to augment their running costs.
Thank you. Risi Taiwo, the floor is yours. Risi Taiwo. Somebody else. Risi Taiwo.
Oh,
are you there?
Sir.
Okay, how are you?
I'm here, sir. Good morning, sir. Good morning, everyone. And thanks for today's beautiful presentations from all the presenters, sir. I always appreciate your indulgence. First of all, I have this question to ask regarding each of the months, because you said we have this training for each month according to the theme. And the theme for this month, October, is community and economic development. But then I was wondering, why don't we have it at the beginning of the month rather than at the end of the month? Because if we have it at the beginning of the month, I think it will do us a lot of good than having it at the end, because we get to understand a lot of things that we may not have understood at the beginning. So that is one. I don't know, maybe you can clarify why we're having it at the end of the month. Maybe I don't have that understanding. That is one. And then number two is on the microcredit, because I know that in my club, initially we were doing it with a micro credit bank finance, but then at the end of the day, we had to take it up. We took it away from them because maybe they were not managing it well. So it now became our project. It now became our baby in the club, at the Rotary Club of Maryland. So what we now do is to have individuals, as against what my PDG said, that we shouldn't give to individuals. We allow our Rotarians to be the guarantors of these microcredit beneficiaries. And we've been doing it so well, and we're getting very good results from it. Each time we have failures from these beneficiaries, the Rotarians concerned, they actually come up and pay back the loan we have given to the beneficiaries. However, in the recent times, we gave to an association, and unfortunately, the association was made as a guarantor as against what we normally practice. But then they defaulted. Up till now, they haven't paid us back. I don't know why. And we felt like, okay, like our practice, if the beneficiary is not able to pay back, then the guarantor will have to pay, which has been the culture, so to say, in the club. So in this case, what's going to happen? The association has failed. They are not able to pay back. And the president at that time was saying, no, then I can't pay back because the association was the guarantor. But the association has been disbanded, sort of. They're not even there any longer. So we're going to get our money back, sir. Thank you, sir.
I'm happy you asked relevant questions. Let me start from the beginning. The question of the theme coming at the end of the month rather than the beginning, you are perfectly right. Which means your question raised the points that you must have come late to this platform today. At the beginning of the platform, I said the incoming president will actually benefit a lot more. Unfortunately, by the time we started this program, we started very late, and that's why we are catching up at the end of the month. So for this year, hopefully we try to start and add some of the things to come a bit earlier so that we'll be able to benefit more. from the month. Hopefully by the time they are doing it next year, if they do it next year, they probably will be doing it at the beginning. You are quite right. There's no excuse for that. When it comes to the microfinance system, I think you wanted to answer your own question. If you relate very well with the bank, we should leave it to the professionals. It's not good enough for you to be blackmailing a member of your club to be the person to pay back, which means the whole purpose is defeated. There's nothing free in this world. All we can do is to make it affordable and make it easier. The interest rates we try to allow the bank to charge is a sort of small interest rate. It will not impact on the beneficiary a lot. So the interest rate is small enough for the beneficiary to pay and not too cumbersome for him to run out of business, like most of the professional and traditional interest rates will have done. Don't you go back to the drawing board and look at it all over again. We've tried so many methods and we found that trusting the professional to handle it, know your customer service of the bank. The only thing you could do to make sure that your bank does not overcharge the client, the beneficiary. I think that's what you should do. So go back to your club and go back to the drawing board and do it again. Thank you very much.
And again, by President Risi, let me also let you know that for Bagada, also our microcredit scheme that we have been running the last 13 years. We started it with Star Microfinance Bank. It wasn't a global grant project, but it was something we started with Star Microfinance Bank. And because of the success, we were able to start with the partners of I think about 1 million or 1.5 million, which grew up to 8,333 as at then before we made it to global grant project. So if we had not done with Star Microfinance Bank, we would have had this kind of problem that your club is having now. And the project, the project probably might have been having issues. But with the success of it with the bank, because they are professionals that are, like our PDG said, they know how to manage these funds. They know how to follow up with all these beneficiaries to make sure that they get these funds back into their coffers. So it would be good to have your club to do so. Thank you so very much.
Saeed,
all right. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir, for the explanations. Okay. And my trainer, sir, actually started with, even before you got to the thing, I was here waiting for you to start a meeting. So I knew when you said it that it might be wonderful for the president-elect. However, because we still have a considerable number of months that we still have for this year, I think we should start for Rotary Foundation early rather than at the end of the month. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, my dear. Saeed, Rashid, have you put out your hand?
Yes, I did, sir. The question that I want to ask, sir, it has been asked by the last two speakers, so there's no need for me to repeat it, sir.
Thank you. Oladipupo Jubril, the floor is yours. Jubril Oladipupo.
Yeah, good morning, sir. I'm here. I hope I can be heard, right?
Thank you. I can hear you loud and clear. Okay. Loud and clear. I can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm from RC Ota, Rotary Club of Ota. It's all still on the microcredit scheme. I think what we have in RC Ota is similar to the last comments made on how we are running. We don't run through any institution for now. This is our second year or third year, more like it, and so far we've had it good. But one thing I want to add that we have done differently is we go through proper profiling of the beneficiaries such that anyone that we are extending the credit to, it's those who actually have a need for it. They are the very, not small business now, more like a micro business, really, such that the fund we are giving are really, impact more on their business. And that gives us the confidence that within the period we are extending the facilities to them, they can actually pay back. And so far, we've had it so good. So my suggestion on the scheme really is to actually seek out those who have the very need for this money, and they can put it in their business, impact their business, and they can as well pay back over the period.
Thank you for the contribution. I hope Risi will take note of that. You can combine.
We have not tried the institutional one and have more people who can try the institutional one. Thank you. That's my contribution.
You can combine you can combine Bagada with our advice and go wide. Just once again to let all of you know that we put this back on the platform for easy study at your convenience much later on. The platform of club trainer as well as the imaginative president. Thank you very much. I'm sorry we spent almost 10 minutes beyond what I planned to do, but next time we start much earlier and punctually. Thank you very much, and have a beautiful Saturday. Go ahead and enjoy your parties. Goodbye. Thank you.